Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. And this week, I have something special for you. So instead of our usual, like you pick a card, there's an extra icing on top. I'm going to be leading you to what your soul wants you to know this week. And then you'll receive your goddess message for the week. So before we begin with that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the energy of the week, the general energy for the week. So we entered this week immediately with a full moon in Leo, and I love this full moon because to me it feels like a start, like the green light for us to go. And now that we're about to enter into spring, spring is coming up. There's another energy that pushes us to start things. I feel like when we start, when we begin the year in the new year and we kind of rush into things, we're still in the winter time. The energy is to slow down and still recuperate and, contemplate and meditate, right? So it's not quite time to move yet. Leo being the fire sign, we're being given the fuel to begin our journey this year basically. So if you haven't written your intentions down, totally okay. You can start now or start whenever it comes in, actually. No pressure there. And if it never comes in, if you're not the type of person who writes intention down, that's totally okay too. If you want to do your vision board, this is a great time to start that. Or if you want to wait till spring, that's even better, right? Because the energy is potent. It's the real energy of new beginnings when we step into the springtime. But Leo really brings in that spark to get us going and to bring in that clarity. The other thing that Leo brings in is that courage. The courage to really begin to take the soul aligned steps to get you to where you want to go, to get you to create the life that you desire, to manifest that which you desire. There's the courage part. Leo represents the lion or the lioness. So don't be surprised when you start feeling that courage, that raw within you to speak up, to speak your truth, to step up and to move forward fearlessly in your soul aligned direction. So this is not about just moving and not knowing where you're going or why you're moving in that direction. No, that was like past, okay, in the past energies. From 2020 going, we're no longer doing that. You are conscious being. You know how you can create your life. You know how you can manifest your life. You know that you have a spirit team that is constantly with you that you can work with to get things done. And so it's about seeing your path, trusting your path, and following, having the courage to follow that path to get you to where you need to be. So I love this full moon in Leo. And again, if you want to dive more into the lunations, the full moon and the new moon and all of the zodiac signs, I invite you to join my Moon Goddess Sisterhood Circle, because that's where we really dive in deep and we really go into detail as in how to work with these lunations and how to use that to support you in your line of work and help you to gain clarity to release that which needs to be released. Speaking of releasing, the full moon, we know it's about releasing, right? And so what is coming in is that Continue to release anything that no longer serves you this week. That energy continues through this week, and you're fully supported in that release. That's the other part of the courage that is coming through. Have the courage to see that which needs to be released and to release that which to be released. Make room for what you truly desire. That is so important for this week. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and close your eyes as usual. Place your hand on your heart and ask, what is my message for this week? Where do I need to put my energy, my focus for this week? 1, 2, or 3. Choose which card or cards come to you. And once you have the number, open your eyes. So for this week, the 3 goddesses that stepped through to guide us through this week. The first goddess that came through is Goddess Morrigan, bringing in the energy of death and magic. And this card, I feel like, is really aligned with this week's, the full moon, being in that full moon energy of releasing and making space for something new or something better to come through. The second goddess that came through is Luster. And she brings in the message of new beginnings. So again, we have the first card is like the death and magic. The second card is about new beginnings. And then the last card is Bridget, bringing in the energy of creative spark. So just looking at the flow of all the cards, like the general energy of the cards is that, we're continuing to release that which no longer serves us. Anything that, the weight that has been pulling us down, making room for something new to begin, a new seed to grow, a new direction to come in, a new idea to come in. And then we're igniting that creative spark within us and that new energy so that we can create that which is in alignment with us and in our soul. So before I go into details with each of the cards, so if you were drawn to card number 1, you're working with Goddess Morrigan for this week. If you're drawn to card number 2, you're working with Goddess Luster for this week. If you are drawn to card number 3, you're working with Beloved Bridget. Now you can look at all 3 cards to give you the complete story of what this week is about. And you can also choose a card, and this is where the focus comes in. Like in this energy that we're playing with, where do you need to focus, right? Because we get lost in all the big energies flowing around, but there's always a part that is only directed to us. So this is where you get to choose the card, and that message is specifically for you on where you need to put your focus. But before we start talking about the goddesses, I have something special for you this week. And I love these cards. So I am using the Soul cards, and these cards are by Deborah Koff. I have had this deck for a long time, and I'm using the second volume, or the second deck. There's 2 of them. And I love this card because they are truly soul messages. There's no interpretation attached to it. There's no guidebook with it. You literally just take a look at the card and allow your soul to give you the message that you need. So we're going to begin with that, because when I tuned into what I need to share with you this week, this is what came in for me to connect you to your soul message, your soul voice. And so what I need you to do is grab a piece of paper, grab your journal and a pen. And what I'm going to be doing is showing you each of the cards. Now, depending on which one you chose, focus on that one. But what I'm going to do is show you the card, take a look at it, taking a deep breath in, and begin to write down anything that comes in for you. So looking at the card, let's say you're like, okay, I see a bird. And then like at the beginning, it would just kind of look like you're naming off what is in the card. But as you keep going, that's when the messages come through. But even just seeing a bird in that card, this is where my psychology background comes in, right? Even just seeing the bird in that card, the bird has a message for you. You know, for me, like if I saw the bird, I would say freedom, to soar, to soar in great heights, right? To be free. And so really take your time to allow these soul cards to open you up and connect you to your soul voice, your soul message. Trust me, this is magical. This is so magical, and I'm so grateful it came in for you guys this week. So grab a piece of paper, grab your pen, come back, and then let's begin. So I'm going to show each of the images. So card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. Depending on which card you chose, if you chose 1, focus on card number 1 and write everything that you see or that comes up with in terms of looking at that card. Card number 2, do the same thing. Card number 3, if it calls to you. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and begin. So this is the soul card number 1. If you were drawn to card number 1, this is for you. Taking some deep breaths in, begin to look at the card and write down everything that you see. And now moving on to card number 2. If you're drawn to card number 2, this card is for you. Taking a deep breath in, look at the image on the screen and write down everything that comes to you with this card. And now moving on to card number 3. If this card called to you this week, taking a deep breath in, connect to this card on the screen and begin to write down everything that comes through the card. And now that you have opened up and connected to your soul, here are the goddess messages for this week. If you are drawn to card number 1, you are working with Goddess Morrigan this week, and she brings in the message of death and magic. Here's the message. Magic is everywhere in all aspects of our lives, including death, dying, decay, and what is dark and hidden deep within our very natures. Yet in our modern culture, we spend so much time in denial, concocting ways to avoid death, refusing to allow nature to be true. We've lost so much wisdom as a result. You are being invited to address the areas in your life that no longer serve and that need to die without a promise of what will take its place. Do you need to walk away from someone, a way of behaving or thinking, like the caterpillar who has no idea how to be a beautiful butterfly? You must surrender to the process of metamorphosis. You must make room for the miracle while at the same time not demanding certainty. The magical death Goddess Morrigan offers you the alignment task of self-inquiry. What death are you resisting right now? What darkness do you need to bring to awareness? How has fear ruled your choices? And who could you be if you had the courage to look at life on life's terms? Your magic is so much stronger than you think. You can do this. Your dreams depend on it. Morrigan will be with you every step of the way. Beautiful message. Again, it goes with that full moon energy of releasing, letting go, having the courage to let go of that which no longer serves you. If you're drawn to card number 2, you're working with Goddess Luster this week. And she brings in the energy of new beginnings. This card is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. And it's actually, her name is actually pronounced Eoster. I think I said Loster. It's Eoster. Oh my gosh. The spelling is so beautiful. Eoster. Here's your message. Hope and new life are blossoming everywhere in your life right now. And this is something to celebrate. The Germanic goddess Eoster sings to you and assures you that your intentions have lain dormant long enough. When she appears, bearing the fertile power behind the coming of the spring, you may feel a surge of energy to implement your new ideas. You feel strong and capable of accomplishing so much of this time as a sense of newness permeates your life. Fresh opportunities come out of nowhere and seemingly drop into your lap. You feel a readiness as you are truly poised for success in whatever interests you. Allow for new experiences to be what they are. By adopting beginner's mind, you remain open to what life has to offer you, and you will be so glad you did. Enjoy this time, this wonderful time of new beginnings, and welcome the gifts the goddess Yoster has in store for you. Beautiful. Again, this card reminds me of spring, even the picture of a spring that is coming up. So again, prepare for spring by letting go, allowing this time, like allowing the full moon energy to help you shed, right? You need to release the old stuff to make way of this new beginning. I love this message. Now, if you are drawn to card number 3, you are working with Bridget this week, and she brings in the energy of creative spark. I love the picture of this card. So here is your message if you are drawn to card number 3. Inspiration and imagination are yours to play with right now. You effortlessly is gold, where all the glitters is really gold, and your life seems like a grand artistic gesture. The fairy Celtic goddess of creative calls you to play in the artistry of your life, your work, and your loves. Bridget is whispering her sparkling music deep in your soul. Are you listening? Are you listening? I feel like this last part, the whispering of the sparkling music deep in your soul and the inquiry of if you're listening. I think this is so important, and perhaps this is why that soul cards came in, right? So beautiful message. I would love to hear from you how this experience was like to experience, especially the experience with the soul cards. Take some time. If you need to reverse the video, go back there and find your card, 1, 2, or 3, and meditate with it, look at it, spend time with it, and begin to write it down. It is an opening to your soul. It opens the door to your soul. It reconnects you to that soul voice. You need to be anchored in your true north before spring comes so that you know where you're going, because these energies will always be swirling around you. But you have your specific calling, your specific goal, your specific path that you will always walk on. And you always need to see that North Star guiding your way. And the soul cards, are a part of your North Star this week, right? It opens you up. It is up to you to continue that connection with your soul, continue communion with your soul, diving deep with your soul, and going from there. It is simply magical. So I would love to hear how this experience has been for you. I have a feeling like these soul cards will be coming in, especially as we're about to enter into spring, to really make sure that you open up to this energy, or to the energy of the new beginnings in the spring. and the potent force that comes with it, potent fires that come with the spring energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you for receiving this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. Please go ahead and click on the subscribe button as well as the little bell next to it. And when you do that, it will always notify you every time I post a new video. And also, if you're interested in joining my Moon Goddess Sisterhood Circle, go ahead and click on the website, which is underneath this video in the comment section or in the description section. And I would love, love, love to work with you. So thank you, and I will see you next week. Happy week.